I'll talk about some more news that I didn't get to today. Kilmar Abrego Garcia was taken into ICE custody amid new deportation threat.
Abrego Garcia, that's the man at the center of what some are calling a controversial deportation program, was detained by ICE this morning. Now, he can be seen in this video with his family just before he turned himself in. Now, depending on what happens today, he could be deported to East Africa. He was sent to a notorious prison in El Salvador by mistake this year.
Bro, it is extra insane. They started off this entire conversation by just like falsely smearing a dude, openly admitting that they fucked up by sending him to El Salvador when it was illegal for him to be sent to El Salvador. Then they were like, all right, my bad. We made a mistake. But he's still going to stay there because he's still a criminal. And then they basically, they just lied about his background. They were like, oh, he's MS-13. Look at his knuckle tattoos. And then after all this back and forth, they eventually had to, by force, by the last remaining power in the judicial process, they were able to, they demanded his return, and he came back. He had a brief moment of solace with his family, and now they're just like still trying to, in the process, they like found new evidence, post hoc evidence, which is bullshit, to charge him with extra crimes, and now they're still gonna look to deport him. Jason Palladino says, I don't think people really realize how insane it is that the government sent this random guy to the torture prison in El Salvador, admitted they fucked up, fired the guy who admitted they fucked up, and now rather than just drop it, they're sending him to Uganda. And on X, the DHS says Kilmar Abrego Garcia will be processed for removal to Uganda. The only evidence, in air quotes, of an MS-13 connection was a dirty Maryland cop who was fired a month after making the claim for leaking operational plans in exchange for sex with a prostitute. He was on the state's list of cops who were unfit to testify. And now they're posting about him and saying, like, they're making AI footage saying he's MS-13 and not a Maryland dad. I just don't understand like what you get out of this. Or at this point, it's like the cruelty is the purpose. There is no real discernible reason to behave like this. They're just doing it because they're like, we're fucking Nazis. We love being a Nazi. We love enforcing our power on some of the most marginalized people in society. And if we can't even get like a guy like this out of here, if we can't even deport this guy, then who can we deport? They're like fucking petulant little children too. Is it the streets of Uganda or a prison in Uganda? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the structure looks like in Uganda, but it's like the British Rwanda plan, basically. Why are they sending him to jail and deporting him? What are his crimes? Bro, it doesn't matter. That's the point. What are the crimes of so many other people? I think this, like, the purposeful cruelty of this process gives the game away. That it has nothing to do with like actual protection or anything like that. And everything to do with just simply being cruel to a non-white person, to make dipshits happy, to make some of the most racist dipshits excited and happy. The real crime is what the government has done to this man.
Then brought home months later. Now, his case has become a major flashpoint in the debate over the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. Camilo Montoyo Galvez is in Baltimore. Camilo, good morning.
Good morning. Kilmar Abrego Garcia arrived here in Baltimore to report to this ICE field office behind me, and he was almost immediately taken into ICE custody yet again. His attorneys say he's now being taken to an unknown detention facility in the country, and that they have filed a new lawsuit demanding a full trial before any deportation to Uganda or any other country in the world.
This was the moment Friday when Kilmar Abrego Garcia reunited with his family in Maryland after months in detention. The 30-year-old Salvadorian man who entered the country illegally in 2011 was taken into ICE custody in early March. He was deported to El Salvador and transferred to a notorious mega prison known as Secot, despite a 2019 court order that prohibited officials from sending him to his home country due to persecution concerns. In late March, the Justice Department admitted Abrego Garcia's deportation was an administrative mistake. After a month of dispute, Abrego Garcia was brought back to the U.S. in early June, but only to face federal charges of human smuggling.
Yeah, this also, the media is, I think, kind of being a piece of shit with their reporting on this because they're not covering like how this information came about. They literally added this as a post hoc justification. They scoured through every piece of evidence they possibly could to tie him back to one traffic stop, okay, where there is no evidence whatsoever that he was like kidnapping people or you know, human trafficking people at all. They stopped them. They stopped them at a traffic stop, and the cops themselves are like, yeah, this looks like, you know, these are a bunch of workers that are going from state to state. And that's it. That's it. That's the evidence they have, is a traffic stop. We watched it. And the cops themselves, like some of the most racist fucking cops out there, are state troopers in the state of Tennessee. And even those motherfuckers were like, yeah, it's fine. It is crazy, bro.
How are you?
Stemming from a 2022 traffic stop in Tennessee. He has pleaded not guilty.
He was a smuggler of humans and children and women.
On Friday, a federal judge released Abrego Garcia from criminal custody.
It's kind of wild because, like, it is the federal government behaving in the ways that, like, my internet haters do. You know what I mean? Like, this is the attorney general, the top cop in the country, and she's straight up behaving like my fucking haters do, where they just like make erroneous fucking claims. It's so wild. Like, they're just making shit up. Like, that's the expectation I have from like a slop tuber, not the attorney fucking general. You know what I mean? Like, your word has power. You have so much power over regular citizens' lives. You are the most powerful law enforcement officer in the country. And she's over here just being like, yeah, he's just sex trafficking minors and women. And when you're the one who's making those defamatory claims, like, they hold weight.
Ahead of a trial next year. But just hours later, the Trump administration told Abrego Garcia he could soon be deported to Uganda. In a statement Friday, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said she will not stop fighting until Abrego Garcia is out of the U.S. But Maryland's governor demanded due process.
I just simply want a court and a judge to decide, and not simply the President of the United States or the Secretary of Homeland Security, who's trying to be judge, juror, prosecutor, and executioner.
Attorneys for Abrego Garcia say their client was offered a last-ditch plea deal by the Trump administration that would see him being sent to Costa Rica, not Uganda, after his criminal sentence is served here in the U.S. It is unclear if that offer is still on the table. Tony?
Kabila, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today, MS-13 gangbanger and human trafficker Kilmar Abrego Garcia turned himself into ICE in Baltimore. Do you have any comment on this? And why are the Democrats so emotionally attached to this man who beats his wife and is part of a terrorist organization?
Because they're...
Wow, what a great question. Thank you.
They think he's going to be good for votes, and I think he's very bad for votes. These people are deranged. He's not good for votes. He beat the hell out of his wife. His wife is afraid to even talk about him. She's been mauled by this animal. And, through a system of liberal courts, he's doing things. But, no, we have that under control.